So is bodyweight training for everyone? I would like to think so, but a lot of trainers disagree that bodyweight training is for everyone for different reasons. A lot of people training in gyms think that bodyweight training is just for people who are lighter weight, like me, fit people, people doing crazy calisthenics. So unfortunately, a lot of trainers and people in gyms have become disengaged to bodyweight training. But hopefully at the end of this short video, I can maybe convince you otherwise. So there's 2 points I want you to think about as trainers. The first is this: before there was equipment, before there was gyms, if you wanted to stay fit, how did you do that? Well, it's bodyweight training, right? Bodyweight training has always been there. But unfortunately, as equipment came in, gyms came in, machines came in, cardio equipment came in, all of these things made people devalue bodyweight. Think about COVID when gyms were shut down. Most people, if they didn't have a rack of weights at home, they were doing what? They were doing bodyweight training. So that's the first point. Think about that as trainers. Does bodyweight training have a place in your training, and does it have a place in the programs for your clients? Okay, that's point number one. Before gyms, there was bodyweight training. The second point, most trainers agree with, and it's this: when we're training with young people, youth athletes in schools, even with clients who have really poor movement, do we load those people up with weight, or do we like to see them move their body in just body weight movements? Well, most coaches will say, Nate, of course, I like to see them do a body weight squat first. I like to see them do good fundamental movement patterns. So when they're talking to a younger generation, like children, kids, youth athletes, they will say, well, of course it's body weight training before we go into weights. But all of a sudden, when we're dealing with adults, we forget all about bodyweight training and we start these people with weights. Or they'll say to me, a safer environment, Nathan, instead of weights or free weights is machines. But machines is just these set planes of motion, which doesn't do all the other ranges of motion. So basically the second point is this: if you agree that you need to do a nice frog squat first with chest upright and back straight, and you think you want to see that movement before you load them up with weight, then bodyweight training definitely has a place in your programs and in your own training. Does that make sense to you? So when I say to people, is bodyweight training for everyone? The answer is yes. It's just a matter of how can you fit it in. Zoo and what I teach isn't about converting trainers to just doing bodyweight training. That's not what it's about. You should do whatever you love doing. If it's weights, if it's fighting, running, swimming, I don't care. Do whatever you love doing, but please understand that bodyweight training sits underneath all other training for me. Bodyweight training is just the foundation that all trainers should know and should know well, because other training is built off it. It's almost like the houses around us, that's all the other training. Down below is the foundations of the house. For me, that's bodyweight training. That's the foundation. And all of the training sits on top of that. Does that make sense to you? So guys, there are 2 points. Think about them. Use that line of reasoning with your clients and help them to see that bodyweight training definitely has a place in their programs. Get in touch. Boom.